Nerd. Nerd.
Excellent. Woohoo! Finally.
Stars.
I've been sitting in front of my camera with my eyeball like for the last 4 minutes being like, let me in. Because I wanted to be like, I'm Kate. My family's coming here. They're coming to Los Angeles for Christmas. So
Oh, that's nice.
I know, which is funny because for me and anyone here who's grown up in the Northern Hemisphere will understand this. It's like Christmas is winter, you know, it's snow, it's cold, it's like a fireplace. But my mom was born and grew up in India. So for her, Christmas is bird of paradise, warm, sunshine.
Wow.
So this year she was like, if you're going to be in LA, I'd really love to have like a traditional Christmas. I was like, this is so weird. But then all my friends in Australia, like it's a New Zealand, or depending on where in New Zealand, but it's the same for them. It's summer at Christmas.
Yeah.
It's so weird to see like snowman decorations and like those inflatables on people's lawns when there's no snow. It's so weird to me.
Well, I went
Yeah,
to
it's wild.
Target and just had like a heyday. Like I was getting all this like Christmas decor and I was like, the pine scented candles and I'm like, boo, 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 like with my cart. And then I like walked out of Target and automatically like all the Christmas joy that I had was like gone because I'm like, it's hot. This is weird. It actually feels like filming a Hallmark Christmas movie.
Oh, yes.
It's not as cool a story, but I adopted a fish
Oh, but fishes need homes too.
a week and a half ago. It was honestly I was in Petco and I know I'm kind of playing into the problem, but I couldn't help it. I was in Petco. I wanted to get like a dog toy, and normally like I go to this other place to get dog food, but anyway, I'm in getting a toy and I see this like sad, depressed beta fish just like laying like kind of on the side. And anyway, so I leave Petco and then I'm like, for the next 3 hours, I'm like thinking about this fish. And so anyway, I go back, I buy the fish, I buy like the aquarium, I buy like all the things, and I bring the fish home. My husband, who was away at the time, I called him and I was like, I did something. And he's like, what did you do? He's like, do we have another dog? And I was like, no, just a beta fish. And he was like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, whatever. He's so used to it at this point. And I was like, what should we name him? And he's like, Napoleon. And because he's a small guy. So now we have a fish named Napoleon.
Oh, I love that you
now. And his like purple's coming back and he's like goes
Aw.
around.
He's so depressed.
I was so depressed. And I got him all these plants and little like did you know that they have what's called a beta bunk? Because betas like to like rest. So it's like a little thing that like you stick it to the glass and then he just goes and like rests on his beta bunk.
Oh,
Like a dog bed for fish.
I like spend my evenings Googling how to make a beta fish happy. How do you beta fish like you? She was there.
Wait, we didn't even coordinate. And we're Christmas colors.
That's true.
And yeah, and we're the way we're sitting right now is exactly opposite, like with our hands like this, and we're wearing red and green.
And my shoulder is where your shoulder is. Hi. Oh, I miss you.
Okay, so do you have a question from Jen? They say, will there be a Swamp Love in the North Pole Christmas special? That's the top voted comment, I would like to point out.
I mean, yes, there should be because we just have to keep one-upping ourselves, so it will get increasingly more ridiculous. As if you couldn't could be more ridiculous than the OG Swamp Love.
Yeah.
There has to be a Christmas special. We just have to go to another convention together to put on the live version.
You do know that will be requested now.
What?
That will be requested now. You act out a scene from this Christmas special.
All I remember is just being being in that Dollarama or whatever dollar store with you, Dollar Tree, like running around getting supplies.
And I got so confused because I thought I actually was like supposed to be a monster. So I was like sticking vines and things in my hair because I thought I was like trying to be the character from Swamp Love.
In your defense, we really hadn't fleshed out the story before then. So it's unclear what either of us were doing in that movie.
So we've got another question from Erp Bronwyn. That how do you think Emily would bring your Erp characters back if she was able to?
Like, I think that was the most fun part of that show, was just like kicking it with everyone and getting to know them. And it was just such a like welcoming environment. I mean, I was there, I say this all the time, but I was there for one episode and I feel like I was like on the show. You know what I mean?
You were.
You were on the show.
I've done one episode. I've done multiple episodes of other shows. And it's not to say that those people weren't nice. They were, but I didn't feel like that kind of ownership that you feel when you're on a show permanently.
Mm-hmm.
Come in and you do your thing, and it didn't feel that way. And I think some of it had to do with the fact that I'd worked with Tim before, so there was this continuity of it. But I say it to Kat's one of the people I say this to all the time. Like it shows makes me feel like we're better friends than we are, which is just such a lovely quality.
Yeah.
I mean, you and I are we're like legit homies, but not that Kat and I aren't, but it was just like, I feel like I've known her for so much longer from day one on set when I didn't even know her,
I remember when I first showed up in Calgary and Kat gave me a gift pack and it had hand cream and like stuff for your lips because it was very
balaclava.
Yeah, I was just like a balaclava. Yeah, and she was like, "This is for you, welcome," and it was just so nice. And I know, but that's
so nice.
Oh,
I'm down to clap.
We did a little rapping in Scotland.
Yeah, I was going to say, Kate, do you remember our panel we did? And then I think you gave birth to Charlotte Sullivan and
I did
to be a dog. And this was my panel, by the way, so this is why it's off unhinged. And then rapping. There's truth or dare. But,
Charlotte Sullivan.
Yeah.
It was a good time.
Legend.
It was a good time. We played, what was it, Truth or Dare?
Truth or Dare, yeah.
Yeah, and Charlotte was always like, "Oh, I don't know. I think I'll do truth."
And then she was like, "No, I'm not doing that one. I'm not doing that one." I was like, "Wasn't that bad?"
She's like, "This one's yours." And it was a rap.
Do you normally do truth or dare?
Me?
Yeah, both of you.
I'd probably do truth, but
I do dare. What about you,
Rachel?
I want to know what you guys all think too.
At this point in my life, I would just do truth because I feel like my life, it's like pretty, not like boring in a bad way, but I'm just over here making stew. So there's not like salacious truths to come out or anything. And also, I prefer not to jump out of a plane or anything. I need to be responsible. But in the past,
those are the kinds of dares in Truth or Dare. I think it's
but in the past I would have done dare. More just for the fun of it,
Yeah.
Just looking at this when we had that conversation in the car about how people look like their pets.
Oh my God.
Wow, you really, it's true.
Genuinely, that's quite, yeah.
You think I look like, I do look like my dog.
I mean, maybe the similar eye color.
That's true, actually.
Hold it up again, let's see.
Well, this is a particularly weird photo of her, but she does routinely look this weird.
Yes, I remember being at a park when I first got Zelda, and she was still a little reactive because she was new and she'd been a street dog for 3 years or so. And I was in this park. I have no business being in this park. I went to like this specialty pet store in this part of Toronto that I never go to when I was living there. So I just happened to walk her over to the park. We're playing around. She's on leash, and across the field comes this dog barreling towards us. And for dog owners, you know that if you have a reactive dog and there's a dog off leash that comes charging at you, the first thing you're like, fuck. And I'm like, and she's like, she's friendly. And I'm like, I'm not sure if she is, because I had just gotten her within like 3 months. Well, sure enough, I was like, well, I don't know what to do in this case, so I'm just going to let them sniff. And Zelda's tail was wagging like crazy, and this dog was wagging like crazy. They were yipping like that real like excited thing. And like, okay, well, it doesn't look like Zelda's going to eat her, so I let her go. And the two of them were on their hind legs, front paws up in the air, like
Did they know
barking.
each other before?
They were in the same shelter at the same time in Mexico.
No way.
So
That's
I said to
insane.
her, I said, that's so strange. I've never seen her like this. And she says, I just got my dog a few months ago. I said, I just got my dog a few months ago. And she says, where did you get her from? And I said, oh, she's from Mexico. She's like, my dog's from Mexico. I said, I got her from Dibs Rescue. And she says, I got mine from Dibs Rescue. And we sent a picture to Dibs, and Dibs said that they came over on the same flight. They were at the same shelter at the same time.
You
And
ever see that dog?
no, no, because I moved.
But it's so sweet though that they like got to tell each other they were good.
And I could only imagine. They were like, and I felt like this, like I was emotional. I was like, oh my God, it was so cool. It was so cool. I was just like, I can only imagine what they said. Like, oh my God, we did it. We did it. Oh my God.
And honestly, like I feel like I've said this at the two cons that I came to, but I'm always very touched at how this community, this ERPers have embraced me. It's so lovely. I did not expect that just being in one episode, and I'm really grateful to get to do things like this and to go to the cons and to meet everyone. And it's actually really even fun. Like Jen, it's like a tiny little photo, but I'm pretty sure I remember you. Like I'm pretty sure it's you, and you just kind of get to know people, and it's been really lovely. So thank you, and thank you for having me on this podcast.
You're so sweet. I love you, Rachel. I just want to say, as usual, thank you for everything. I'm just going to bring Zelda into this. There's Zelda. She's looking at a lid that she thinks has food on it, but it doesn't. Hi, baby. Can you sit? Good girl. You just sit and wait. We're going to deliver a message. We're going to say, we love the uppers. We love this. Hannah, thank you for asking us. And just all of you, Rach and I aren't on the show anymore, but we are part of this community forever. And the fact that you support us in all the things we're doing and trying to do, and watch our movies and promote them, and it means so much to us, because this is such a rare famdom, as we've said many times. It's so rare, and I know I'm speaking for both of us and probably all of us on the cast. Like, we just lucked out. We hit the fucking jackpot with this fandom. And so yeah, thanks for everything. And
Don't chop. Mwah. Love you guys.
Thanks, guys, for coming on. Appreciate it.
Lots of love. Bye. Bye, everyone. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
Bye.